It's a nice change from yesterday, which definitely wasn't. So for people watching on the stream, this is a meeting of South Cambridgeshire Cabinet. My name's Bridget Smith, and I'm chairing the meeting. Councillor Brian Milnes, the Vice Chair, sitting on my left. Just remember, this is being live streamed. The normal procedure at Cabinets to take votes by affirmation. When we move to a vote, I'll ask members if they agree. And only those members of the Cabinet present in the chamber will be able to move and second motions and vote. And I'll take questions from Cabinet members before non-Cabinet members and people in the room before people online. I can see we've got Councillor Anna Bradnam online, I presume representing Scrutiny and Overview, so thank you very much for joining. So we will start with apologies for absence. Habs?
Thank you, Chair. We have apologies for absence from Councillors Peter MacDonald and John Williams.
Thank you very much indeed. And moving on, are there any declarations of interest in relation to this agenda? No. Announcements. Well, two announcements. One is, I'm going to go over to Councillor Toomey Hawkins and let her do one. In fact, I'm going to let her do both of them because they're both planning related. So, thank you. Microphone.
Thank you very much, Leader. Yes, it's a good day today. And just to say that the Greater Cambridgeshire Planning Service, we recently won a very prestigious award. Last week at the RTPI Awards for Planning Excellence, the service won the Planning Authority of the Year. So we are the best planning service of the UK, which is a very good thing indeed. So, I mean, these awards obviously are a testament to all the hard work, dedication, and professionalism of the entire team. And some of the initiatives that we actually put in our submission was, to do with some of the prop tech work we've done, creating an AI tool that summarizes feedback and helps us develop analysis tools. Diversity net gain leadership. If you recall, we also won an award earlier this year for that. Our multi-award winning youth engagement service, giving young people a voice in planning. Inclusive planning through things like design code and community engagement, and our apprenticeship and talent development program. So it was a great day, and I think I was making quite a lot of noise on the day. So thank you to all the planning team for all your work, professionalism, and dedication. Mama Bia is very proud of you.
Thank you. Do you want to do an announcement about the website as well, which I think is launching today?
Oh yes, how could I forget? Our new website will be launched today. It's quite user-friendly, so I encourage everyone to please have a go at it and just give us your feedback and help us make it better for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I cannot underestimate and underexpress how proud I am of everybody who's been responsible for us winning this award. It's just totally fabulous. So well done, everyone. And thank you, Councillor Hawkins, for your leadership in this as well, of course. Right, moving on. Public questions. I don't think we have any.
No, confirmed we don't.
Fine. Update from Scrutiny and Overview. Councillor Bradnam, do you want to contribute anything at this point?
No, I didn't have anything to add. I thought Habiba PC did a perfect summary, so I'm quite happy to leave it like that.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for joining online. Okay, so going on to our first substantive item, which is the assignment and succession policy for housing, and Councillor John Batchelor is going to introduce this, and I will be delighted to second it. So, Councillor Batchelor.
Thank you, Leader. This item, items 6, 7 and 8 are essentially here for the same reason, and that is to bring our policies up to date with current legislation. So there's nothing particularly contentious about any of these things. The assignment and succession policy is one before us now. I'm happy to move the recommendation, and that is that Cabinet approves the assignment of the succession policy as set out in Appendix A, and that the lead member for housing is given designated authority to make any minor adjustments. Other than that, that's all I wanted to say. Jeff Clark, the officer responsible, is here today should you have any matters of detail you would like to pursue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anything that officers want to add to this? Something, Jeff?
No, thank you, Chair. So essentially, as Councillor Batchelor has said, much of what's written in this policy is statutory legislation, and some of that has been tested through the courts process. So it's what we've included is all up to date. The only bits that we've included are where we have local discretion, is where under the succession criteria, if somebody is left in a property following when there's already been a succession, or they're not entitled to succeed to a property. And what we've included here is criteria that will support people to stay in that property on a temporary basis until we can help them into more settled accommodation. So we've included that to make sure that nobody is left without a home, essentially.
Thank you. I'm very pleased to hear that, because I've had a couple of situations actually where this kind of pragmatic approach really makes people's lives better. Thank you. Any questions for anyone in Cabinet? No? Okay, fine. Any questions for anyone else? No? Okay, in which case we will move. The recommendations are set out on page 5. Do members agree with the proposal?
We agree.
Anyone wish to vote against? Anyone abstaining? So Cabinet therefore agrees the proposal. Thank you very much, Jeff, to you and all your team for this one. I think you're probably the next one as well, aren't you? So item 7, housing safety policies relating to gas and water hygiene, which all sounds very riveting stuff, but very important. John Batchelor, thank you.
Yes, well, either it's this repeat of the previous one. Basically, we're bringing all this in line with current legislation. It's mainly technical matters, which again we'd have little option over. So I'm pleased to move the recommendation, which in this case is that Cabinet approves the housing safety policies related to gas and water hygiene as set out in Appendixes A and B, and that the lead member for housing is given delegated authority to approve any minor amendments. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm very happy to second it. Are there any additions from officers? Julie, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. No, I don't think so, really. It is very much a technical document in terms of making sure we are compliant. Just to add that we are 100% compliant on our gas safety. So every property that has gas does have a gas safety check and is compliant. We've got a few jobs on the go in terms of water hygiene, where we're taking out sort of dead legs in terms of where water usage isn't used anymore. So in some of our communal rooms, showers and things that aren't being used anymore. So it just sort of backs up that evidence in terms of our policy to safety.
Thank you very much indeed. Any questions for anyone on Cabinet? No? Anybody else? No? So thank you to Julie, and I think Eddie as well. I think has been very involved in this. Right, so do members, the recommendations are, thank you, set out on page, sorry, which page is that? 27. Page 27, thank you very much. Do members agree with the proposal, please?
Agree.
Anyone wishing to vote against? Anyone abstaining? No. So Cabinet therefore agrees the proposals. Thank you. And the sort of third one in this batch really is the complaints policy, always very important. Councillor Batchelor again, and I think Councillor Milnes is going to second this one.
Right, thank you very much, Lisa. Yes, this is slightly different. So the complaints policy, we are bringing it in line with legislation and the requirements of the new housing ombudsman and the government and social care ombudsman, which in practical terms means that we have an overall complaints policy as against a housing complaints policy and a general policy for the rest of the organisation. So these are being consolidated here and taken note of the requirements. So I'm happy to move the recommendation, which in this case has two elements. The first is recommended that Cabinet approves the revised complaints policy as set out in Appendix A, so that it aligns with both the complaints codes of the Housing Ombudsman and the Local Government and Social Care Ombudsman. Further, item 2 is further recommended that the lead member for housing and the deputy leader are given delegated authority to approve any minor amendments to the complaints policy. Thank you, Leader.
Thank you very much indeed. Councillor
I'll
Mill?
say that Julie is with us.
That's fine, yeah, I
can
see
deal
that.
with it.
Thank you.
Yes, just to confirm, I'm pleased to second this. Thank you.
Julie, do you want to add anything on this?
Thank you, Chair. No, I don't think there's anything further to add. Thank you.
Thank you. So lots of ombudsmen to keep happy. Right. Any questions from Cabinet members? No. Anyone else? No. Good. So the recommendations clearly set out on page 55. Yes, as just read out. So do members agree with proposals?
Agreed.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to vote against? Anyone want to abstain? No. So council therefore agrees with proposals. Julie, thank you very much indeed. It's actually a really important thing to get right. Okay. So that takes us on to Homes for Ukraine scheme update. So Councillor Batchelor, John Batchelor is going to present this, and I think Councillor Henry Batchelor is going to second it. Lovely, Councillor Batchelor.
Yeah, thank you very much, Leader. So the Homes for Ukraine scheme, this is an update for noting. This is really a paper for us to actually celebrate the really quite amazing achievements that we've managed to bring about over the last couple of years, with nearly 1,000 Ukrainians being guests in our area. So, you know, from my point of view, just a big thank you to Gareth Bell, Ben Thackeray and Peter Sixsmith, who led the charge on this. And also I should mention Susan Hinowalski, who did a great deal of investigative work, particularly at the beginning of this operation. But the real heroes of this are our own residents who have opened their homes to the Ukrainians. More than 400 individuals have provided accommodation. So a great big thank you to them. It's not over yet. There's a little way to go and a lot of uncertainty about the future and so on. And there is an issue about government policy regarding visa extensions and so on, and how that should be dealt with, but that's not for today. The officers are with us this morning if you wish to pursue any matters of detail. So I'm pleased to move the recommendation, which is essentially to note the report and the progress that's been made on the Homes for Ukraine programme. Thank you, Leader.
Thank you very much indeed. Councillor Henry Batchelor.
I don't think much more to add, Leader, to be honest. I mean, that's very self-explanatory. I mean, the scheme has been, you know, very well taken up and run, so I'll be happy to recommend that we note the report.
Thank you very much. Any question? Sorry. Gareth, Ben and Peter, anything you want to add to any of that?
Thank you, Chair. No, there's nothing to add from
Thank
us.
you. Yeah, add to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. I just wanted to say, add my thanks to all the residents who opened their homes. I still remember when the first family came to Caldecott and, helping them to settle in, and they're becoming part of, our community, really. And yes, they've gone a long way in being hospitable, and that is, a very good thing for all of us. And we just say again, thank you. And it's a shame that, the war is still going on, but hopefully things will settle. Thank you.
Thank you. So again, I'm hugely proud of this. It's just been fantastic. I don't think any other authority, has done more than we've done, and the figures speak for themselves. And the fact that, well, again, looking at my own community, where I meet our Ukrainian guests regularly, and desperately sad people because they want to go home. But I gave a speech a couple of years ago in Cambridge about this, and I said I want when these people are finally able to go back to their own homes, I want them to remember us as being an authority that really did our best for them, and that we really pulled out all the stops to make what is the most negative experience as positive as it possibly could be. And I'm absolutely confident that we've done that. And that's purely down to you implementing it. So, and the regular data that comes through, hugely useful. I think we all look at it to see where we're at. But yeah, the caring that's been shown by the members of this council has given us something to be very, very proud of. So thank you very much indeed. So any questions from anybody else? No? Okay, thank you. So we'll move on to the recommendations.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anna
Sorry.
Bratton, thank you. Yes,
Just very quickly
yes.
on that one. I just wondered whether that thanks has been conveyed to the individual hosts who've hosted people in South Cambs. I know that there will have been regular contact with them, but I'm just wondering whether we've, I was just thinking I need to direct them to watch this section to receive the council's thanks. But is there a formal way of doing that?
Gareth, please. Good question, by the way. Thank you.
And I think Councillor Bradnam sort of summed it up, is we do have regular communication, we do convey our thanks, but we can certainly take the collective thanks of members today and we'll make sure that that's provided to all of our hosts and guests once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think what I'd like is that there should be a letter coming from
a
me
formal
and
letter.
Cabinet, as a whole, just saying, none of us ever foresaw that, what are we, 3 years on, that we'd still be in this position, we'd still be asking them for help, and just to reiterate how very, very grateful we are. So I'm sure somebody can put something suitable together. So good suggestion. Thank you, thank you, Councillor Bradnam.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good. Right. So the recommendations are that we note this. That's on page 73. So do members agree with the proposal?
Agreed.
Anyone wish to vote against? Anyone wish to abstain? So Cabinet therefore agrees the proposals. So moving on now to item 10, which is the cost of living support programme. And Councillor Henry Batchelor is going to present this, and Councillor Brian Milnes is going to second it. So, Councillor Henry Batchelor.
Yeah, thank you, Leader. And following on from that last item, hopefully this is another good news item that we bring to Cabinet. So you might remember, as of 2022, a cost of living emergency was declared, and we as a district council decided we wanted to try and help our residents out. So we agreed a raft of sort of support programmes that sort of ran on 2-year cycles. We're now coming to the end of one of those cycles in March 2026 next year. So what this paper is asking us to do is to essentially agree the next phase of those sort of support offerings that we offer to residents of South Cambridgeshire as a council. It's probably worth noting that our cost of living work is some of sort of the best, or we get some of the best feedback, I think, in terms of council services, i.e. lots of residents are very grateful for the offering that we give them, because obviously it's a discretionary service. We aren't obliged to do any of this as a council. And actually also some feedback from members of staff is they're very proud of the services that we offer as an authority, especially the communities team that facilitate these grants. I mean, they're very, so they can actually see firsthand the impact that some of these schemes that we offer actually are having on people. I know we've talked at length about the LIFT programme, but I mean, that has certainly helped us identify people that haven't been aware of some of the benefits they could be receiving, but they have done. I think that's been one of the biggest successes, certainly within my portfolio, has been that the implementation of that particular scheme. But although we're not talking about that today, what we're looking at is basically we're coming to you asking to agree some funding to continue our cost of living work over the next 2 years, starting from 2026. What we have, if you look in the paper, if we look at item 4, which is on page 86, we can see some of the services that we have been offering up to now that are due to come to an end. Some of these we're proposing to continue, some have run their course, and we're proposing to either cease or replace with something different. And if you want to see what we're proposing to take forward and bring in as new schemes, you can see that in table 1, which is on page, or starts on page 89. And there is a little box on the right-hand side of that table that tells you whether it's a continuation of a scheme or a brand new scheme as well. There's also a column that shows the cost of this. I know one question we had at informal cabinet when this came was around the cost of the schemes in previous years. So we have actually added that table in at the bottom of page 92, which is item 27. So if anyone is interested in what we and also other bodies have helped contribute towards our cost of living work over the last couple of years until today, you can see that in the paper. So the recommendation is to agree the funding for the next 2 years, and also then to delegate any minor changes to Jeff as Head of Transformation, and also myself as Lead Member for Communities. Although she's not here today, I would like to thank Leslie McFarlane, who's essentially facilitated our cost of living work. It's not just her, but her and her team, which is headed up by Gareth as well. I mean, they've sort of really pulled all the stops out to make sure these things are the right schemes to offer the people of South Cambridgeshire, and actually facilitating them and making sure they're properly funded and managed has been, not an insignificant task. So, whilst Leslie herself isn't here today, I'd like to offer my thanks to her and her team and Gareth as well. So, I will happy to propose the recommendations as in the paper, Leader.
Thank you very much indeed. Councillor Mills?
Thank you, Leader. So I'm very happy to second this. This will take us effectively to the end of this council, assuming the local government reorganisation takes the schedule we anticipate. And it will be something of a lasting legacy, I think, from this council, that we have done so much for our residents in looking after them with this cost of living, which, as Henry has just described, is an optional spend. And it's only available to us because we've been so financially prudent as a council, and we're in such a strong condition finance-wise compared with large numbers of other local authorities. So I'd applaud both the finance team under Fazana now and the rest of our colleagues for doing such a good job, which allows us to take this decision on optional spend. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Any other questions from Cabinet members? No, from anybody else? No, that's fine. Thank you very much indeed. Another very, very good news story. I'm going to encourage all of our group to read it, actually. So page 85 is the recommendations. That's to agree the 2-year one-off funding package of just shy of £500,000, as Councillor Mills has said. So, do members agree with the proposals?
Agree.
Anyone wish to vote against? Anyone wish to abstain? So, Cabinet therefore agrees the proposals. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, and Councillor Batchelor, please pass on our thanks to the officers involved in this. So item 11 is the Q2 performance report, which will go to Councillor Williams has unfortunately not been able to come today, so that will go in my name, and I think Councillor Brian Milnes is going to second it. So, I mean, this is self-explanatory. We continue to see continuous improvement across everything, just about everything we do. I don't imagine there's many performance reports from other councils with so much that's in the green. So I'm just going to hang on. So I'm just whiz to the end here. Sorry, it's a long report. Oh, that's a good thought. So start at the end and go back. Kevin, do you want to add anything to this?
I don't think so. Just say that there was a good discussion at scrutiny about it as well, and there was some positive feedback in relation to the good performance in many of the areas across the report, and also in relation to some of the changes in terms of the way that the reports set out for which have been implemented for this financial year.
Absolutely. Good. I'm glad that scrutiny picked up all of our pleasure in the way that it's all presented. I'm just doing a very quick scroll again through the corporate action plan report, which is but it's all green and purple. So I don't. We're not behind on anything, are we? No.
No, absolutely. And certainly we'll be looking to get those next lot of updates in for Q3, but in the next couple of weeks. But certainly looking fairly positive, or very positive, in fact. Understating it there by saying fairly positive as of the end of Q2.
Thank you. I can't remember a time when everything was on schedule, actually. So that's fantastic. Councillor Milnes.
Yes, thank you. Let's not jinx it by highlighting it too much. But it is remarkable that cabinet meeting after cabinet meeting, quarter after quarter, we have improving results and such a strong performance report. So, of course, I'm delighted to second the report and to note it.
Thank you. So, any questions for anyone in cabinet? Councillor Toomey Hawkins.
Not a question, Leader, but just to say thank you to the executive team for their leadership and for officers for doing the very best and being dedicated in such a way that we're seeing this performance level despite all the aggro that has been thrown at us. Well done, everyone.
Thank you very much. Any comment from anyone else? No. So we will go to the recommendations as set out on page 95, which I won't read out. The members agree with the proposals?
Agreed.
Anyone wish to vote against? Anyone wish to abstain? So Cabinet therefore agrees with the proposals. Kevin, this is a massive amount of work every quarter for you. Thank you very, very much indeed. I imagine it's probably pretty stressful collating all of this and actually getting all this information from every other part of the organisation. I think is probably the biggest challenge. Or maybe you've got them all completely trained and it all just flows in seamlessly. But thank you very much indeed. It's a great report and we really appreciate all your efforts in putting it together.
That's very much appreciated.
And the continuing adjustments, I'm being told. Yes, absolutely. The fact that you're continually looking at ways of making it better and easier for us to comprehend and so on. So thank you.
Absolutely. There's always room for improvement, so we'll continue to look to do that.
Well said.
Sorry, Leader, just before we move off this, could I just say that what a pleasure it is to see the relit target is actually green this time.
Hooray. Well worth celebrating. Thank you. Yes, well done to your team on that. I think it's Julie, isn't it, who's led that. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, moving on swiftly to item 12, which is the Local Nature Recovery Strategy, which is being overseen by the Combined Authority. Councillor Natalie Warren-Green is going to present this and Councillor Hawkins, I think, is going to second it. So, Tilly, over to you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Leader. This is a very simple ask at the end of a very long process of working with CPCA on the local nature recovery strategy. And the ask is to forward for publication to the Secretary of State. And we have somebody here from the Environment team that's going to do a very simple summary, a few slides, but behind those slides there's been a huge amount of work done by our Environment team, working with a lot of stakeholders, and also our Climate and Environment Advisory Committee as well have really analysed this strategy, which is why I want to forward it for approval to go to the Secretary of State for publication. But before we do that, I'm welcoming Ellie Haynes from the Environment team to talk to this, so we get a bit of a context, and you know very clearly what the summary is of what we are approving.
Thank you. Hello, Ellie. We'd appreciate your contribution at this stage.
Thank you. I've just got some slides I'll share. Great. So the local nature recovery strategy is a new duty required under the Environment Act 2021, and at its heart it's a statement identifying biodiversity priorities as well as a series of maps detailing the locations for nature recovery. And I will refer to the local nature recovery strategy from now onwards as the LNRS. It's a bit of a mouthful. And it's a project which has involved a number of different, all of the districts in the area and other bodies as well over the process of its development. And it's been a long 2-year process, and it's involved several teams from this authority as well. So thanks to the Natural Environment team as well in the planning service who have helped to drive this forward as well. So a bit of context for us. So England is one of the most nature-depleted countries in the world, and Cambridgeshire and Peterborough has one of the lowest proportions of land managed for nature in the UK. And so because of this, having a strategic vision for nature is really, really of particular importance to us in this area of the world. And although tree canopy cover isn't the whole picture, it can be a helpful proxy for biodiversity. And as you can see here from this map on the screen, there are much lower levels of tree canopy cover here in South Cambridgeshire than, on average, than in the rest of the UK. So just situating this document in relation to some of the other documents that we have at the moment, because sort of there's just to get rid of any confusion that there might be around any of them. So I will just sort of explain the difference between and similarities between the LNRS, the local plan, and then also the draft climate and nature strategy. So the LNRS will have an influence over the local plan, and the LNRS and draft local plan have broadly aligned evidence-based, particularly in relation to biodiversity, net gain and green infrastructure. And so the local plan spatial strategy and the sites are broadly aligned with the LNRS, and developers will also be expected to deliver biodiversity net gain in line with LNRS priorities. At the same time, draft local plan policies will support the delivery of LNRS and biodiversity net gain. And then specifically in relation to the draft climate and nature strategy, actions resulting from the LNRS will define some of the actions which we include in the draft climate and nature strategy to make sure that those actions are all aligned as well. So this document has been through a consultation period, and broadly I'll cover some consultation outcomes. So the consultation revealed strong support for the Cambridgeshire and Peterborough LNRS. 74% of respondents agreed that the document clearly sets out how to improve nature recovery in the region. And some brief barriers to delivery that were perceived were concerns around funding, resourcing, monitoring and enforcement, as well as some doubts around integration with wider planning frameworks, and also some risks to delivery that were seen were development pressures, particularly in relation to housing and infrastructure. So some key changes made as a result of this. So the map on the right there shows some key mapping changes proposed. And in terms of the consultation comments, these were split broadly by some key areas, and that included changes to species, habitats, mapping, email responses, and also editorial responses. And a total of 114 editorial changes were received, and they were considered quick wins, so didn't need that technical steer, so they were made. But all other responses were sifted to remove any responses which didn't need any changes and were simply just for noting. So next steps for this document then. So we're now in the local authority consultation period, which is between the 26th of November and the 24th of December. And the LNRS must be approved for publication by all supporting authorities before being submitted to the Secretary of State. And following that, the implementation stage of the LNRS will then begin. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you very much indeed. Who's seconding this? Tumi, do you want to speak at this stage? Thank you.
Thank you. The work, I think we all know that for our local plan that's just gone out to consultation yesterday, one of the key themes is biodiversity and green spaces. And of course, we identified way back that we would need to do some work on this. And it's great that I'm now happy to second this, because obviously we'll be able to deliver it through the policies we have coming forward through the local plan. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I ask a couple of questions? So we're approving its publication by the Secretary of State while the consultation is still going on. So are we expecting, we're not expecting this consultation to result in any further changes?
Sorry, so the public consultation's now closed, and so it's now in a period of sort of the local authorities.
Just the local
it's
authorities.
Just the local authorities, and each of them has the opportunity to approve it.
Got you. And going back to your first map, that's showing that there was more respondees to the previous consultation from South Cambs than anywhere else. Is that what those figures are?
Correct. So yes.
That's really interesting. Okay. So was that those respondees? How? I mean, you probably can't answer this. I'm interested to know whether they were just people, house owners, residents, or was were the majority of them potential developers and so on.
I think it was a real mix of individual respondents from organisations, organisations and interested parties, and developers as well, and landowners.
Right, Finland 5.3%. That's very well. It's very interesting, isn't it? Okay, it might be quite interesting to do some analysis on that and understand further why it is.
Is it because there's a lot of awareness here about our need for more tree cover, and a lot of we are quite nature.
Well, very
exactly.
Yes, quite very.
And so we've done a lot of work over the years, and people are aware.
Yeah.
So of course, when this sort of information goes out, they're willing to actually put their 2 pennies in.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Thank you. Right. Questions? Yes, Councillor Batchelor.
Yeah, thank you, Leader. Just a question about the actual strategy itself. So on page 195 of the papers, or 19 of the actual report, there's a bit on historic environment that seems to be highlighted in yellow. I didn't know if that was a formatting thing or if that was due to be edited somehow. Because it's not the whole section, it's just parts of it. So I didn't know if it was just a formatting thing.
Yes, I saw that.
I can take that away and ask about that. Thank you for highlighting that.
Yes.
Sorry, if I may, I was at the SEAC meeting where this was discussed, and actually that's just an error. It's not meant to be in there.
Thank you very much indeed. Right, okay, yeah, Councillor Batchelor, yeah, sorry, Milnes. Might have been a compliment.
So, thank you, Leader. So it just struck me as one of the most depleted areas in the country for particularly tree canopy. How disappointing it is that the A14 with its trees, with hundreds of thousands of trees, have been left to die after planting. And despite their best efforts last year, we had an extended drought period, and we aren't making very much progress on that. I mean, if that resolved, would have made a large contribution to this scheme. So I just thought I'd mention that disappointment that we still haven't had those trees established. Thank you.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. Righty-ho. So the recommendation is that we agree that the Secretary of State can publish this. That's on 172. Do members agree with the proposal?
Agree.
Anyone wish to vote against? Anyone wish to abstain? So Cabinet therefore agrees the proposals. Ellie, thank you very much indeed, and I think and John as well. I think he's not very well today, is he? So if you pass on our thanks for him. I know because I used to be involved in this at the Combined Authority. I know this has been really difficult, and to get all partners to put in the effort that's required, I think has been very tricky. So thank you very much indeed, much appreciated. Right, moving on to financial things now, and I will have to present these. So, starting off with the proposed fees and charges, so I will propose this, and Councillor Milnes will second it. So let's just start off. Fazana, is there anything you want to highlight here?
Thank you, Leader. Just apart from saying that a lot of our fees and charges are prescribed by statute, where possible we've reviewed our fees and charges and increased them to provide the services, and the general recommendation was 2.5% in line with cost of living. That's it, really.
Fine, okay. Councillor Milnes, anything you want to say?
No, I'm more than happy to second this. Thank you.
Any Cabinet, any questions relating to this? No? Any questions anywhere else? No? Okay, that's going to be quick. So I'm sorry to knock off something. There's obviously been an awful lot of work in a matter of a minute or so on, but we appreciate this has been an awful lot of work to get us to this point. So recommendations set out on page 431 to approve the charges and note the proposed variation. 341, sorry. Approve the fees and charges as detailed in Appendix A to take effect on the 1st of April or the earliest feasible date thereafter, and note the proposed variations of fees and charges in comparison to the prevailing inflation rate detailed in the report. So, do members agree with proposals?
Agree.
Anyone wish to vote against? Anyone abstaining? Nope. Cabinet therefore agrees to proposals. Fazana, thank you very much to you and your team on that, and all the people who I know have contributed to it. So, a bigger piece of work now, the General Fund Revenue Bids and Savings. The recommendations set out on page 365 here. So these are the growth budget proposals put forward. Okay. And Councillor Milnes is going to second this as well. So, Fazana, do you want to say anything on this, or Liz, or anybody?
Thank you, Leader. Basically, these are the service proposals, either budget pressures or efficiencies that services have identified, and they are identified in Appendix A, B and C, with C being the service efficiencies and A and B being either ongoing or one-off proposals to be included in the forthcoming budget.
Thank you. Liz, do you want to add anything to any of this? No? Okay, it's all quite straightforward. Brian?
Yeah, happy to second this report. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Any questions from members of Cabinet? No? Anybody else? Righty-ho. So we'll go straight to the recommendations then. Do members agree with the proposals?
Agree.
Anyone wish to vote against? Anyone abstaining? So Cabinet therefore agrees to the proposals. So my thanks to Fazana and James Hatton as well. I think has been very involved in this. So my thanks to you. And moving on to the penultimate one, which is the revenue and capital budget monitoring. Recommendations set out in 375. So note the revenue position, the full year budget, which is in the appendices, and the capital programme position, as shown in Appendix D. So Fazana, anything you want to highlight here, please?
Just to say that this is the position at the half-year mark. So the salary position is in line with the profile budget, so we're underspent by about 144,000. Overall services, we have 2.5 million underspend, which constitutes with some services being underspent on their expenditure and a vast amount of income from the waste service and additional grant funding within the housing and planning service.
Okay, right, that's good. Okay, thank you. Brian?
Yeah, very happy to second the report.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions from anyone in Cabinet? No, again, sorry to knock it off so quickly. Right, recommendations on page 375. Do members agree with proposals?
Agreed.
Anyone wish to vote against? Anyone wish to abstain? No. Cabinet therefore agrees the proposals. So thank you again to Fazana and to James. And moving on to the last item, which is the capital programme update and new bids. And again, recommendations on 401. So to consider the capital programme bids for new projects as in Appendix A, and note the revised capital programme in Appendix B, and for the general fund and Appendix C for the housing revenue account. So if we go to Fazana, if there's anything you think we should be noting in particular?
Just to say that this is a refresh of the last capital programme submitted to, which was approved at Council in February 2025. Any changes and reprofiling have been included, and there's an appendix which outlines new capital bids as well to be included within the capital programme.
Okay, thank you. John Batchelor, do you want to talk about the housing element?
I would indeed,
Thank you.
Leader. Thank you. Obviously, I'm happy to second this. If anybody has managed to reach pages 417 and 418, they would have found the housing revenue account, which is good news. That's showing that in this current financial year, we're proposing to invest around 80 million pounds. We expect in the next 2 weeks to take possession of our 100th house so far this year. The projection for the whole financial year is that there'll be something in the order of 120 new build houses added to our stock. So all good news. Our previous record for a year was 91 houses, so this is very significant. And there's a number of big projects going on, not least here in Camborne, that will be providing many more houses for the future. In our already contracted delivery for the future, next 2-3 years, is 365 houses so far, and there'll be more. So good news there, well worth getting to pages 417 and 418. Thank you, Leader.
Thank you, Councillor Batchelor. Would you like to second this item?
I'm very pleased to second that.
Thank you very much indeed. Right, yes, great news. I think am I right that we're kind of top of the league on council house and adding council houses at the moment?
I think you're about to get an invitation to take possession of the 100th house.
Oh, that would be lovely. Good. Thank you very much indeed. That's great news, and very, very well done to the whole team. Any questions from members of Cabinet? No questions from anybody else? Righty-ho, so moving to the recommendations, which are, sorry, I've lost them now. 401, thank you very much indeed. Yep, lovely, thank you very much indeed. So do Cabinet agree with the proposals?
Agree.
Thank you. Anyone wish to vote against? Anyone wish to abstain? Right, so Cabinet therefore agrees the proposals. So my sincere thanks, please, to I think it's Martin Lee and David Hill, whose names are on this paper. Much appreciated for all your efforts in setting it all out so clearly. So that brings us to the end of the meeting, and the next meeting of Cabinet is going to be on the 3rd of February 2026. Thank you very much indeed, Democratic Services, for supporting us, and bring us to an end. Thank you very much indeed, everybody.
They normally